Hello everyone. So in this session we will discuss about permanent tissues. So what are permanent tissues? Permanent tissues are the cells which are derived from the meristematic tissues. Here the meristematic tissues undergoes differentiation and develop into the permanent tissues. The cells of the permanent tissues have definite shape, size as they never divide. Okay. So the permanent tissue it is meant for providing support, mechanical support. They have also help in protection and they help in photosynthesis, and also they conduct the water, minerals and nutrients. The permanent tissue cells may be living or dead. Okay, so basically there are two types of permanent tissues. The first one is simple permanent tissue, as well as the second one is complex permanent tissues. What is simple permanent tissue? Simple permanent tissues are the cells, they are having same type structurally as well as functionally. And the complex permanent tissues are the cells, they are having several types of cells which differ from one another structurally and functionally. So the first one is, that is simple permanent tissue. They are having same type and structurally and functionally. So they are made up of only one type of cells, and they consist of three types. Basically there are three types of simple permanent tissue. They are parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Okay, so the first one is parenchyma. So we all know the structure of the parenchyma cells. They are having thin cell walls made up of cellulose. Okay, so there are intercellular spaces in between the each cell, and it consists of cytoplasm, and it is having a large vacuoles, and it is having a permanent nucleus. So what are these parenchyma cells? The parenchyma cells are present as the ground tissue of the soft parts of the plants. They are said as the ground tissues of the plants. Okay, so they occur in cortex region, pith of the stems and roots, mesophyll of the leaves, fleshy parts of the fruits, and also they are seen in the endosperm of the seeds. Okay, so they are found also in xylem as well as the phloem. Okay, so the cells have uniformly thin cell wall made up of the cellulose. The cells are living. Okay, so the parenchyma cells are living. The cells have peripheral layer of the cytoplasm containing a small nucleus and surrounding a central large vacuole, and they are having the intercellular spaces. And there are many types of parenchyma cells, that is simple parenchyma cells, colorenchyma, parenchyma, prosenchyma, epidermal parenchyma, xylem parenchyma and mesophyll parenchyma. So we will study only the three types, that is simple parenchyma, chlorenchyma and parenchyma. So what are simple parenchyma cells? So it is a ground tissue of the plant organ. Here, the simple parenchyma, it is seen in cortex and pith of the stems and root. Okay, so it's a best example of the simple parenchyma. So it is seen in cortex as well as the pith of the stem and roots. This simple parenchyma shows essential metabolic functions like respiration, secretion, and also store the food materials and different crystals. Okay, so they store oils, crystal calcium oxalate in them. Okay, so the second one is, that is chlorenchyma. Sclerenchyma cells of the leaves have sometimes the cells of the outer cortex contain numerous chloroplasts. So the best examples for the Sclerenchyma cells are mesophyll cells. Okay, so the mesophyll cells are of two types: palisade cells, which are elongated cells, and the second one is spongy parenchyma, which are oval in shape. Okay, so these palisade cells as well as the spongy parenchyma combine to form the mesophyll cells. Okay, so this is seen in the leaves, which help in photosynthesis. The third one is, that is parenchyma. So the parenchyma with large air cavities, that is known as parenchyma. Okay, so they are the air cavities of the cells. Okay, so it is common in aquatic plants. So this provides the buoyancy to the aquatic plants. Okay, so the parenchyma provides the buoyancy to the aquatic plants. The air cavity with air help in the which helps in the exchange of the gaseous in the submerged aquatic plants. Okay, so these air cavities of the parenchyma cells helps in the gaseous exchange of the submerged aquatic plants. Okay, so they are slightly thick walled elongated parenchyma cells. Okay, so they are known as the prosenchyma cells. Okay, so they are the parenchyma cells which are slightly having thick walled elongated. Okay, they are known as a prosenchyma cells. So coming to the functions of the parenchyma cells, so it shows essential metabolic functions like photosynthesis, respiration, secretion, etc. So it helps in photosynthesis, storage, buoyancy, as well as secretion. They help in transportation and mechanical support of the plants. The sclerenchyma cells of leaves and young stems helps in the photosynthesis. The parenchyma cells also help in healing of the wounds. Okay, so they help in healing of the wounds of the barks and take part in regeneration. Okay, so the next one is collenchyma cells. So these collenchyma cells are the living mechanical tissues of the cells. Okay, so they are living mechanical cells of the plants. Okay, so they are occurring in epidermis of the herbaceous dicots, and from the layer that is known as hypodermis, you will see there. So it also occur in the leaves on other sides of the veins. Okay, so they are seen in other sides of the veins. The collenchyma is normally absent in the leaf mesophyll, undergo storage organs and stem and leaves of the monocotyledons. Coming to the structure of the collenchyma cells, the cells appear oval, globular, and polygonal in cross section. Okay, and they are cylindrical in vertical section. The cells are compactly arranged one another. Okay, so there is no intercellular spaces in between them. So in parenchyma you will see the intercellular spaces in between each cell, and here in collenchyma you will never see the intercellular spaces. Here the cell wall is uniformly thin except at the edges. Okay, so except at the corners, where the secondary walls are thickened with cellulose, hemicellulose, and pectin. Okay, so they are having cellulose, hemicellulose, as well as pectin at the walls. So the walls are very thick at the corners. The cells are living and contain functional nucleated vacuole as well as the protoplast. And here also you will see three types. The first one is angular collenchyma, and the second one is lacunar collenchyma, and the third one is laminar collenchyma. So the angular collenchyma cells are irregularly and compactly arranged. Okay, so the cells are irregularly and compactly arranged without intercellular spaces due to continued thickening at the corners between the cells. They are made up of the pectins. Okay, like the best example is the ficus and datura plant. Coming to the second one, that is lacunar collenchyma. So the lacunar collenchyma cells are having small intercellular spaces. The collenchyma cells with small intercellular spaces are called as lacunar collenchyma. In this type, the thickening of the pectin occurs on the walls facing the intercellular spaces. Okay, example is malva plant. Example is malva. Okay, so the third one is lamellar collenchyma. So in this type, the cells are arranged compactly in layers. Okay, so you will see here the cells are arranged in layers, and thickening occurs chiefly and tangentially. Example is sunflower. Coming to the functions, they help in mechanical support as well as the photosynthesis. So they are having they are meant for support. Okay, and then the aerial parts of the dicot stem, particularly the petioles, they are also having the best functions of the mechanical tissues. So it exhibits elasticity and extensibility to the plant, so it helps in elasticity of the plants. Okay, and then collenchyma, the with the chloroplast, perform the photosynthetic functions. The third one is that is sclerenchyma cells. So these sclerenchyma cells are dead mechanical tissues. Okay, so they are dead mechanical tissues. The cells have uniform, thick, lignified walls and that provide mechanical strength to the plant organs. Here, the cells have thick walls and lignified walls. They provide mechanical strength to the plant organs. The individual cells of the sclerenchyma do not possess living protoplast. Okay, so they do not possess the living protoplast cells. The sclerenchyma cells show wide variation in the form and structure. Okay, so they show wide variation in structure and usually consist of two types, that is fibers as well as sclerates. So there are two types of sclerenchyma. The first one is fiber and the second one is sclerates. So in fibers also again they are having two types, that is intraxillary fibers, which is known as wood fibers, and the second one is extraxillary fibers. And the sclerates also having many types, that is brachysclerates, and then astrosclerates, macrosclerates, ostrosclerates, trichosclerates, as well as the filiform sclerates. Okay, so we will study about the sclerates now. So what are sclerates? Sclerates, these are short, highly thick walled. They are isodiametric or irregular in shape. Okay, so they occur in single or in groups. Okay, so they occur singly or in group. They are commonly present in the hard covering of the seeds and nuts, and also they are seen in endocarp of the stony fruits, and also pulp of many fruit such as custard apple, guava, etc. Coming to the structure of the sclerates, they are mostly small, isodiametric, irregular in shape. They have a strong wall, thickened and lignified walls and lumen. Okay, they have pits. Okay, there are small separation between each cell having a pits. Okay, that is known as a pit. This pit may be simple or branched canal-like cavity. Coming to the types of the sclerates, they are uh, they are as follows. The first one is macrosclerates. What are macrosclerates? These are elongated rod shaped columnar cells forming a solid placid like structure. Okay, so in epidermis you will see epidermis of the seed coats, example leguminous plants, pea, bengal gram, etc. You will see the microsclerates in them. The second one is osteosclerates. Osteosclerates, they are the bone shaped sclerates. Okay, so they are known as bone cells also. So they are bone shaped columnar cells with more or less enlarged ends. Okay, here they occur in hypodermal layers of the fruits and seeds of some dicots. Example pea. They are also found in certain xerophytic leaves. They are also seen in xerophytic leaves. The third one is astrosclerates. So these are star-shaped sclerates with many lobes and arms. They occur commonly in the intercellular shapes. Okay, so they occur commonly in intercellular spaces of the leaves and petioles of some aquatic plants. Okay, the next one is brachysclerates. What are brachyclerates? The sclerates are also known as stone cells. Okay, so they are unbranched isodiametric cells with branched ramiform pits. Okay, so these are present in the pulp of the custard apple, pear, and guava. The soft parts of the plants like cortex also have this. The pits also have this, and also you will see this in the phloem cells. Okay, so the next one is sclerates. The tracheosclerates, these are long, slender, and tri-lobed hair-like structure where the lobes protect into the intercellular spaces of the leaves and stem. Example is monstra. The last one is filiform sclerate. So it is also known as the fiber like cells. So it is also referred as the fiber like cells. They appear elongated, springly branched, and uncommon kind of cells. Okay, so example is leaves of olea. Coming to the second one, that is fibers. So there are two types of fibers again: intraxillary, which is known as wood fibers, and the extraxillary fibers. So the intraxillary fibers are the sclerenchyma fibers associated with the other elements like xylem and that is known as xylem fibers or xylary fibers. Okay, these fibers develop from the same meristematic tissues. So they develop from the same meristematic tissues as the xylem cells and constitute the integral part of the xylem. The second one is extraxillary fibers. So these fibers include all those fibers which occur in tissues other than the xylem. Okay, coming to the functions of the sclerenchyma tissues, the sclerenchyma gives support, strength, and rigidity to the plant organs. Okay, so the long sclerenchyma fibers are commercially important. So fibers associate with the phloem and certain plants forms the raw materials in the jute industries. They also help in that they also help in the formation of cotton fibers, and then they give the mechanical support and provide the hardness and stony fruits such as nuts, cotton, almond, etc. So they help in the mechanical support and erectness of the plant body. So hope you guys understood. Thank you.